This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E. Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Sports postcasts we do. But today, the San Francisco Giants bludgeoned the Baltimore Orioles 13-2 at Oracle Park. Justin Verlander rolled back the clock today and looked just as dominant as he's ever been in a Giants uniform, racking up 10 strikeouts and no runs over 5 innings pitched while only giving up 3 hits. A great day for Verlander, a guy who I've given a lot of flack this year. And man, today he looked excellent. He got a ton of run support also from the Giants offense as they plated 13 runs. 13 runs. Who is this team against a much-maligned Baltimore Orioles defense that made multiple errors today? It looked lost throughout much of this one. We'll break it all down, but first I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed. However you're tuning in, we appreciate it. Make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Alan Stiles, does a great job. And as I said, the Orioles weren't doing a lot to help themselves in this one. We'll get to that in a minute because that's a big part of today's turning point. But I just want to, before we get into the Verlander stuff and the turning point, today's player of the game, what you'll be talking about, all that, I want to give some props to Rafi Devers because, again, this guy comes out and sets the table with a home run in the first inning, 28th bomb of the season, a line drive to center field. I mean, it was really nice to see yet again, the Giants coming out and just ready to swing, ready to do some damage right away in this one. It was a 4-seam fastball low in the zone, about knee high. He went down and got it, and it's just nice to have that guy in your order who is just constantly a threat to produce runs for you, to do some damage, and that's what this team has really missed a lot of this season. And you're seeing what this offense looks like when Devers finally looks comfortable in the middle of it, and it looks pretty damn good, man. I know it's the Orioles, and I know that we can't read too much into the Giants' run totals in this series. I mean, 13 today, 15 on Friday. I know they only had 1 yesterday, but just crazy run productions. Totals from the Giants so far. They also scored 12 against the Cubs earlier this week. So you have 3 games in 1 week from the Giants where they score more than 10 runs. That's absolutely incredible for this offense who was, struggling to even score 1 for a large part of this season. So I just want to give Rafi Devers a big shout out because I think that is a big reason why this team has come around so much. Another 3-hit day for him. When you have Rafi Devers and Elliot Ramos at the top of the order, combining for 6 hits, 6 for 10 between the two of them, that's going to do a lot for your baseball team. So shout out Devers, shout out Ramos for kind of getting the Giants moving at the top of the order. It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. But as far as this game goes, that 1-0 lead wasn't going to stand, especially since we've seen the Giants give up a bunch of runs in this series so far. The pitching has been the one thing that's been lacking, right? Like yesterday, they give up 11 runs. The day prior, they even though that they poured on 15 runs against the Orioles the day before on Friday, still give up 8. Robbie Ray did not look good. So today, I wanted to see a good outing from a Giants pitcher, and we got that from Justin Verlander, man. He was awesome today. He only gave up 3 hits. He did walk 4, but 10 strikeouts. He threw 120-plus pitches. I mean, this guy was working on the mound today. 121 for Verlander, 81 in the strike zone. It's a whole hell of a lot of pitches. 81 strikes is about as many total pitches as a guy like Landon Roop is going to get, I mean, in a start recently. It's been... if when he comes back off the injured list, that is, and just in general, he's just racking up the pitch total in this game, and he looked like he just wasn't going to get taken out. I mean, I think Bob Melvin kind of got that vibe from him too in the 5th inning to just kind of leave Justin Verlander alone, even though he was laboring a little bit, throwing a lot of pitches, running that count up on almost every at bat. He was still getting guys out. I mean, even when he was giving up some contact, it was pretty soft in general today. So Justin Verlander doing a very, very, very good job out there on the bump today, and he's going to get today's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Took me a second to find that button there. Sorry. But yeah, Justin Verlander, today's player of the game. Average exit velo, 81.6 miles an hour. That'll play. That'll absolutely play. I mean, he was really doing a lot with all of his different pitches out there on the mound. He seemed like he had everything working. He threw 48 fastballs, 22 curveballs, 20 sliders, 19 changeups, and 12 sweepers. I mean, he had a very, very good pitch distribution. It's 5 different pitches he's using, mixing and matching, pretty much throwing everything to both sides of the plate, sliders and changeups. Threw a little more to lefties than to righties, but he was very, very, very good, man, on the mound today. This was a vintage Verlander performance. And I'm glad that I'm glad that Melvin left Verlander out there to go chase that win. And usually I'm not the guy who's advocating for old dudes to go out there and throw 120 pitches. I mean, I'm not even happy when Logan Webb throws over 100 pitches in recent weeks because the Giants don't really have a lot to play for. And I know that we can get into that a little bit later on the show. I know they're 5 games back. You got 25 to play. We'll talk about that in the show, believe me. But I'm not really on board with running these guys into the ground for the most part. Robbie Ray, Logan Webb, I want their arms to be fresh for next year. Justin Verlander is a different story. I don't know that Verlander is coming back next year, and I really don't care if his arm is fresh for the Giants next season. I really don't. Was it fresh this year? No. Is there anything they're going to do to bring him back and ensure that he's going to have a great season next year? You don't even know if the guy's going to play baseball next year. So let him go out and chase that win. I mean, he's been really good for the Giants as of late. In his last couple starts, he has been very, very, very good. This is back-to-back wins now for Verlander. He won one in the Cubs series, and in that one, he went 6 innings and only gave up 2 runs. And earlier this month against the Tampa Bay Rays, which the Giants lost this game, unfortunately, but he went 7 innings and no earned runs, only gave up 2 hits. And then also prior in this month on August 4th against the Pirates, another game the Giants lost, he went 5 innings of shutout ball with only 3 hits. So Verlander this month has been, I mean, really good, man. Like maybe not like top tier and not like ace stuff, but I mean, ERA sub 4. I mean, I'll take that any month from Justin Verlander at age 42. Like he's looking pretty damn good, man. I did not expect this. I expected this guy's arm to fall off in the second half of the season the way that he looked early on. I gave him a whole hell of a lot of flack early on and was very, very down on this guy. But hey, ultimately, it's nice to see the vet battle back and have a nice second half of the season. And I think it kind of sets an example for the rest of this Giants team. Like, keep fighting, keep battling, have some professionalism, have some pride in what you do. Show up to the yard every day and compete because that's your damn job. And that's who you are as a ball player. And that's what Verlander did today. That's what's echoing throughout that locker room, I assume right now. And this should kind of be a rally point for the Giants. If 42-year-old JV can go up there and give you that, then you know what? Every single other player on this team should be able to show up and continue to give effort until the end of the season and at least make this a competitive September. Because although the Giants are 5 games back, and that doesn't seem like too much, like it's definitely a lead for the New York Mets for that final wild card spot. But 5 games back, you hear that number and you start thinking, maybe there's a shot. Just maybe there's a chance. But I just want to remind you guys, the Giants are still a game under 500. Not only are they 5 games back of the Mets, but the Reds are a full game ahead of them. And the Reds, although they've been sliding lately too, they're 2-8 in their last 10. I think the Reds are a better baseball team than the San Francisco Giants right now. And you also have to look at who's around the Giants, right? The Arizona Diamondbacks and St. Louis Cardinals are both just a half game behind them at 5.5 games back of the Mets. Also, the Mets, although they were backsliding a little bit earlier this month, they're 6-4 in their last 10. They seem to have started to figure some things out. And I don't expect the Mets to completely fall apart. I mean, I don't think David Wright and Jose Reyes and Tom Glavine are coming back into to the Mets. I mean, you're thinking of the 2007 Mets where they blew a 7-game lead with 17 games left in the season. I don't think that's happening, man. Like, so this is all to say it's happened before, but we remember that 07 Mets team for a reason. And it's because that collapse was so historically bad. And that's the kind of help that the Giants are going to need to get into the playoffs. A historically bad collapse from the New York Mets. And they're also going to need to leapfrog the Reds and then hold off the Cardinals and the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. So the Giants, ultimately, their odds of making the postseason are extremely, extremely low. I do not expect this team to do so. I just don't. But Could they have some fun in September? Yeah. Can they play some spoilers in September? Yeah. I mean, it's not insurmountable. Like, it's not never been done before, right? Like, it is possible, I guess, but it is so incredibly like not or so not very plausible that the Giants just should not be considered playoff contenders. Again, Tom Glavine, Jose Reyes, and David Wright aren't walking through the door in Queens to save the Giants season anytime soon. And even though there has been all this discussion about the Giants being 6 games back from a wild card this year on August 29th, and the fact that they were 6 games back from the division lead on August 29th in 2010, where they ultimately wound up winning the World Series, again, I don't think that that's happening. I really don't see that happening with this Giants team. They're going to have to go on like remember the Miguel Tejada A's that won like 20 games in a row? They're going to have to do something like that in order to push their way into the playoffs. And I just don't see that happening, man. You got like not that many games left in the season, less than a month left. And the Giants are 5 games back. That's a whole week's worth of games. That's a lot of ground to make up in a very short time. But you can still have some fun being a Giants fan when Verlander's throwing gems like this and inspiring the team to play well through the rest of the season. A great outing from Justin Verlander. Picks up his 2nd consecutive win for the first time this season, for the first time in a Giants uniform, and another shutout from a five inning shutout, not a complete game shutout or anything like that. But hey, 5 innings shutout ball from Verlander. What more can you want from the guy at this point? Don't go anywhere. We got a lot to get into on the other side. We haven't even started to discuss the 13 Giants runs that they put up today. Plus, we also got to get into what you'll be talking about. We got to get into a turning point that involved a forever Giant on the Orioles today. That and so much more coming up next on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is brought to you by Upside. Hey, Locked On Giants fans. Are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code FOOTBALL and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You could make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app right now and use my limited time promo code FOOTBALL for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code FOOTBALL. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. Man, we got through that one, didn't we? We certainly did. But today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is almost here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. And I love using FanDuel because it fits however you like to play, whether you're looking for spreads, money lines, player props, same game parlays, whatever you're looking for, they got it, man. It's so easy. Just from your couch, you can get all the action that you want. Don't got to go to those sports books. Just use your phone. And if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app right now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. And today's show is sponsored by PrizePicks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right means cashing in. With football back, PrizePicks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prices all in less than 60 seconds. And I love looking at the season-long projections right now. Right before the football season, I'm trying to get in all of my futures stuff right now. And the season-long projections for PrizePicks are what I'm playing right now, man. And I've got a few things I'm still working out, so I haven't finalized what I'm going with before the NFL season kicks off. But man, there is so much to dig into. So make sure you get to PrizePicks right now. Download the PrizePicks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today the Giants really beat down the Baltimore Orioles, man. It's just another shellacking, 13-2. And virtually none of the games in this series have been close. They've all been weird scores, like almost football scores in some circumstances. And today, 13-2, not exactly a football score unless you're considering, a touchdown, 2 field goals, and a safety for the Orioles, I guess. But the Giants ultimately today, you got a great outing from Verlander, but it wasn't all him. We talked a little bit about the top of the order, getting the offense going in that first inning with that Rafi Devers solo home run. But then again, in the third, the Giants plate a couple more. And it starts to unravel from there. The Giants just kind of doing some nice productive hitting, a couple singles, or 3 singles and a sac fly in the bottom of the third plate, those 2 runs. But in the fourth inning, that's where this thing really got out of control for the Orioles and really started to look good for the Giants. And that leads me to today's turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So after you get 2 on with a Luis Matos single and a Pat Bailey walk, you get Christian Koss, who comes up and singles to load the bases. But then things start to get a little weird, right? Luis Matos it would have loaded the bases, but Luis Matos ends up scoring because of a throwing error on Jeremiah Jackson. And then up comes Drew Gilbert. So after this throwing error allows a run to score, you got runners at the corners and Drew Gilbert up, and he laces one out to left field. And he hit it pretty well, 94.4 miles an hour, kind of a Frisbee shot, he was inside out at it. So it's kind of tailing away from the left fielder, who is Daniel Johnson, who played with the Giants earlier this year. He had a couple nice moments. He had a home run in that Dodgers series. I think that qualifies you as a forever Giant. If you hit a home run as a San Francisco Giant against the Los Angeles Dodgers, that puts you in the club, right? So we remember Daniel Johnson. He played some good defense out at Oracle Park too. And on this instance, he did not play some very good defense for the Baltimore Orioles, man, because he's tracking this ball, and all of a sudden he's kind of like frozen, and he's kind of doing like this crab walk thing, and he just drops, man, like just falls right to the ground, almost like there was a sniper out there at Oracle Park out there in China Basin. And he just dropped all of a sudden. It was comical to watch. I'm sure Daniel Johnson wasn't laughing, but I'm sure all the Giants fans who saw that play were. The dude just falls down, and the ball falls, maybe like 10 feet away from him. And the carousel begins. Everyone scores, and Drew Gilbert ends up on third with the triple. Not ruled an error, because that kind of play is never ruled an error in the scorebook if you miss a fly ball like that, unless you touch it and drop it. So Daniel Johnson got nowhere close to that baseball, so it's not ruled an error, which feels like it absolutely should be. But nonetheless, the Giants capitalize on this, and they end up scoring a couple more runs in the inning. Before you know it, it's 7-0 exiting the fourth inning. And the Giants look like they're just on cruise control the rest of the way Verlander was pitching, and then the way that this bullpen came in. You only needed 2 guys in the bullpen. Bivens did kind of lose it there at the end in the ninth, but it didn't really matter at that point. The Giants' lead was just so massive. But he did give up the 2 runs in the ninth that spoiled the collective shutout that the Giants had going. Joey Lucchesi also gave up a hit and a walk, but otherwise did not give up a run. It was pretty good in his outing. Again, another scoreless inning for Joey Lucchesi, who I'm just so high on this kid. I keep saying kid. He's 32. He's not a kid at all. He's older. He's my age. So Joey Lucchesi, a great outing from him today. I think that this is a guy that the Giants could maybe look to bring back for next year. I do really like the way that this guy throws out of the bullpen. I think that he's been very solid for the Giants and kind of a diamond in the rough scrap heap find. This is a guy that I would expect the Giants to find midway through the season in the Farhan Zaidi regime when you're making 100 moves a season. But Buster Posey wasn't making a whole lot of moves like that throughout the year, so I didn't really expect the Giants to get too many of these guys. Joey Lucchesi is one they got right, and I hope he comes back next year with this team. He has been very, very, very good. But the Giants offense kept rolling, man. They had 2 more innings in this one where they scored 3 or more, scored 3 in the 6th, scored 3 in the 8th. And you just look through this box score, and everybody today, except for Patrick Bailey, did something pretty productive at the plate. Bailey, I guess, did walk twice, so he was on base twice, and he also had an RBI. But everybody on this team contributed in some way with either an RBI or base hits or a run scored or something. Like every single player on this team was involved in run production one way or another. Rafi Devers, 3 hits, Elliot Ramos, 3 hits, and a guy who we've talked about a lot lately, Luis Matos. another multi-hit day for him. I really love what I've been seeing from Luis Matos. I continue to see good things from him today. Batting average all the way up to 232. I mean, this guy was batting like below 150 like a month ago at the start of August. So he has really, really turned things around. He is red hot right now, getting everyday playing time. Do not take this kid out of the lineup. Leave him in there every single day until the end of the season, unless he's not healthy. Also, we got to give it. We already talked about him a little bit, but Drew Gilbert, man, a 3-hit day for Drew Gilbert at the bottom of the lineup. 3 RBIs for him as well. Scored 2 runs. That batting average, which was below 100 for a while, almost off the interstate. He's at 190 now. So Drew Gilbert, coming around for the Giants. That bat is the big question mark with him. We know he's got a big league glove, but does he have a big league bat? I guess we'll keep playing him throughout the rest of this year and hopefully find out by the end of the season if he's got it or not. The Giants today, 13-2, just absolutely shelled the Orioles. And, they're winners of 7 of their last 10. They beat the Brewers, they beat the Cubs, they beat the Orioles. That's 3 consecutive series wins after losing that Padres series 3-1. So it's good to be where the Giants are right now. You go to Colorado next. It's another winnable series. Just keep putting some things together, man. Like, don't worry about the wild card standings. Just keep putting things together and keep playing good baseball. At the worst case scenario, the Giants get a little momentum going at the end of the season that can maybe propel them into next year. Best case scenario, the New York Mets go back to 2007, completely collapse, and the Giants somehow magically sneak in. So keep doing what you're doing. It can only lead to good things. The Giants, 1 game back at 500. That slow climb back to 500 it continues for the Giants tomorrow as they go and face the Rockies on Labor Day. We will be coming to you live after, as we always do, on the Locked On Giants postcast. It's all the time that we got for you guys today. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time.